Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. H here. We are talking Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. And yeah, we're talking Disney's Rise of Skywalker. We're also going to be looking at the Midichlorians and Daisy Ridley's comments. Now, this is purely PR spin, and I want to kind of preface this all with that. Like, it's absolutely PR spin. Both comments, actually. So you can see from this headline, look, Star Wars, Daisy Ridley claims that The Rise of Skywalker was her best filming experience in the series. That's purely PR spin. Designed to get Rey fans on side. And the Midichlorians comment is designed to get George Lucas fans on side. So I do think it's interesting. Before we get into it, though, I just want to make you guys aware of some of my previous videos that I have done. Batwoman review, episode 5, linked above. Hilarious, utterly hilarious. That honestly, that show just gets worse and worse and worse. So please do go and check that out. Also, released a video on Sonic the Hedgehog and the redesign. That's a bit of a deep dive. Again, leave that linked above. And then if you're here for a Star Wars news and you haven't seen my Ryan Johnson, the Man, the Myth, the Man Baby video, please do check that out. You will really, really like it. So anyway, this is PR spin. Why is this PR spin? Well, look, for a movie that is the conclusion to the Skywalker saga, which is arguably, I mean, the biggest storied franchise ever. There's not that much buzz surrounding this movie. And in fact, this movie has received most negatively PR recently, with leaks, rumours, talks about reshoots, multiple cuts, etc., so on and so forth. Some of these things you can believe, some of them you can't. But for the most part, it's all negative PR. So this is pure PR spin. Daisy Ridley claims The Rise of Skywalker was her best filming experience in the series. Now this is, I literally can't get over it. So we'll read her comments and then we'll go kind of through the article. It's the first time I filmed more confident because I feel like there was nothing else I could have done. The third one for me was the best. It's a big film for everyone. I did all of the emotions. I did frowns. I did smiles. It was the sort of biggest breadth, and I think that's also why I had such a good time, because I got to do so much shit, like physically, emotionally, and I got to work with so many people. Her main comments on why this is so good is that she was used and her acting ability was tested. So look, you're going to see her frown and smile, ladies and gentlemen. Epic. Absolutely epic. I get a bit scared because this year a lot of good things happened. You're like, oh no, is the universe storing up something? Ridley reflected. But then I was like, well, F it. If it is, I'd best enjoy this time. And then there were some other comments that says, as if being the final film in a narrative that launched back in 1977 with the Star Wars A New Hope wasn't big enough. Conceptual feature. Ridley previously revealed that the actual filmmaking process took an emotional toll on those involved with the production. There was a scene that touched me a lot. It was our last day shooting in Jordan, and the natural light was fading, and it was so exciting. It was just a short scene. We filmed very fast, but the crew was shaken in a way I had not seen before. And I thought, my God, if this is people's immediate reaction when the scene isn't even ready, imagine what it will be like to see it in the movies, with the John Williams soundtrack and all that. This is just PR spin. And I get it. Like, of course it's PR spin. Why would it not be? But interesting to see, because again, this is firmly, both articles I'm going to show you are both appealing to completely different people. This is, hey fans of Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, come see this movie. It's the best one. Your favourite, Mary Sue, Rey, has had the best time. That's basically what they're preaching here. So that's funny, obviously. Especially her points as to why. Because she got to frown and smile. Well done. Now this one is, again, this is the appeal to the old fans, or at least fans of George Lucas. So midichlorians were discussed when J.J. Abrams talked to George Lucas before The Rise of Skywalker. What? Don't do it. Jesus Christ. Earlier this year, director J.J. Abrams confirmed that he once again spoke with Star Wars creator George Lucas ahead of production on Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, the 9th episode in the main series and the official end of the Skywalker saga. At the time, Abrams revealed that their meeting with Lucas was to get a sense of finality from the franchise's creator about its conclusion and pick his brains on his ideas about the franchise as a whole and its many machinations. One major thing Abrams neglected to mention that came up through happens to be a major stick. That's some bad punctuation there. One major thing Abrams neglected to mention that came up through happens to be a major sticking point with some fans of the series. That is a long sentence. In a new interview with Total Film magazine, Abrams revealed that his conversation with Lucas revered into the territory of the Star Wars prequels, specifically the ever-controversial Midichlorians. First mentioned in 1999 Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. The Midichlorians were revealed as microscopic organisms that live in Force users, giving new meaning to a living connection to the Force that fans had come to know. According to Abrams, George still loves the idea and brought it up while discussing the final film in the saga. Again, pure PR spin, just looking to appeal to the old Star Wars fans. He had a lot of things to say about the nature of the Force, the themes that he was dealing with when he was writing the movies. Yes, there were some conversations about midichlorians. He loves his midichlorians. But it was a very helpful thing. Sitting with him is a treat just to hear him talk, because it's effing George Lucas talking about Star Wars. I always feel it's a gift to hear him talk about that stuff, because the effect that he had on me at 10 years old is utterly profound. Now, it doesn't make any mention or comment of whether they're going to make an appearance, but he's sitting down with George Lucas specifically to talk about the future of the Star Wars kind of franchise, but then also the conclusion to the Skywalker saga. Now, midichlorians are canon, I guess, as per George Lucas, so they are canon. And as far as I'm aware, correct me if I'm wrong, have Disney used them? I don't think so, but maybe it will come into the final episode of the saga. So it's interesting. Now it says one of the many things fans have vocally disliked about the prequel films were the midichlorians, citing how this explanation of the Force's powers removes the mystery of it from the story, but also delivers a weirdly scientific explanation for something so rooted in spirituality. There were references to the midichlorians in other Star Wars canon beyond the prequel films, including some episodes of Star Wars The Clone Wars, but most of these moments were relegated to spin-off book and novels, all no longer canon under Star Wars umbrella, and now their own branch called Legends. There has been no mention of them at all in the new films produced by Lucasfilm. Okay, so under Disney, they've not mentioned them at all. I do find this fascinating. So, like I said, look, you got two things here. Praise be to Daisy Ridley. Come, one and all, watch her in her film. That's all this is. That's purely what this is. And her reasoning behind it is just such crap, you know? Literally just such crap. It's the first time I've filmed and I've basically done some range. Jesus. Which I guess subtly throws some shade on The Force Awakens and also The Last Jedi. Because it's like, did you use the actress to her full ability? And as well, I do think Daisy Ridley might end up being typecast. Well, not even necessarily typecast, but she may end up without any other roles. I don't think she's had anything else in the pipeline now. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think she's been hired for anything else. So, interesting. And like I said, this whole midichlorians nonsense. Midichlorians! They were discussed. Praise be George Lucas. Again, that's all this is. Very ambiguous, though. Again, doesn't make any mention of whether they're going to be using them or anything like that. But like I say, specifically, you know, the conversation with George Lucas veered into territory, you know, is quite literally as they were wrapping it all up. And Total Film magazine as well, it's really important to note that this will have quite a lot of reveals, I would imagine, over the next couple of days. Total Film will normally do this for most major blockbusters. Like Godzilla had a whole bunch of reveals coming from it. Alien Covenant had it as well. It just happens all the time. So check out Total Film if you want. I think it's Empire magazine as well normally. So Whatever, there you go. Let me know your thoughts on all this, though, down below in the comment section. Can you see the PR spin for both sides here? And this is the be-all and end-all for Star Wars at the moment, is they're trying to please everyone. And I think they'll fall short of pleasing no one. So anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Space Jasper shirts are now live in my Teespring store. It's not just shirts, though. It's pillows, it's mugs, it's stickers, it's posters, it's everything. So go and check it out. You can see that linked down below in the description box. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I've been Mr. H. Take care.